Hello and welcome, you are gaming with me, Brothgar, and today I'm taking a look back at the Black Ops 3 Call of Duty beta that was out over this last weekend or so. I'm not exactly sure, just kind of hit my radar and I decided to plug it in and play it, both on my Xbox One and my PC. So for those of you that are actually following my channel, yeah, I now have an Xbox One, just got it this last weekend. So what I did is I sat down with both the console and the PC for an hour and a half and just kind of took notes as I was playing the game. And my goal with this is to find out whether or not the game is going to be more fun on the console or the PC, for those of us that have the option of playing it on either. Alright, so let's start off with a graphics comparison. The footage you're looking at right now is from the Xbox. However, I will let you know that I'm recording this off of the stream to my Windows 10 PC, as opposed to actually recording it straight from the source, so it looks a little bit more muddy than it would actually be. Now, before we jump into actually how the game mechanics work and my opinions about that, let's just take a look at the game from a graphics standpoint of the Xbox One versus the PC. As far as how the game ran on the Xbox One, I have zero complaints. It ran absolutely perfect, high frame rates the entire time, no graphical issues at all, and the game looks about as pretty as you can see it right now. However, when we jumped on over to the PC, I was smacked right in the face with some serious graphical errors right off the bat. I mean, take a look at this. Ooh, it looks absolutely horrible. What's gone on here, though, is I have dual graphics cards in my PC, and that is just playing absolute chaos when it comes to the shadows. And that ended up crashing the game to the point where I had to restart my PC. So right off the bat, yeah, things were not that smooth on the PC. After disabling my second graphics card and just running it with one 7950, the game ran absolutely great, had no issues at all. However, the graphics still did not look quite as good as they were on the Xbox One until I cranked everything to max and also pumped in a lot of anti-aliasing. However, with all of that stuff kind of punched in on trying to resource load my graphics card, even my 7950, which is several generations old now, but it is quite a powerful card for being as old as it is, still was able to generate tons and tons of frame rates. And that in mind, there are monitors that you can get for a PC that have higher refresh rates of 140 hertz or so, so you're going to get a little bit more smoother experience there. But that's kind of cheating in my book, because let's face it, the graphics worked out a little bit better on the Xbox One and ran perfect, whereas the first thing you had to do is fix it once you hit the PC. So I'm going to give the edge to the Xbox One there, but all in all, once you kind of got away from all the weird stuff, it worked just fine. For me though, the big difference in experience was actually how the game physically felt. On the controller, it felt pretty good, to be honest. I was able to actually kind of learn and pick up on the controls quite quickly. I mean, with all the different actions you can do, your jump runs, your wall runs, and jetpacks and slides and all that kind of stuff just seemed to really fit the controller quite well. Although I'm terrible, absolutely terrible when it comes to aiming with a joystick, I still gotta admit, it was quite a fun experience, especially when you get that kill. When you jumped over to the PC, obviously we're gonna have a little bit more control, and I'm a lot better on the PC, so I was able to get kills a lot easier while on the PC. But that's where things got a little bit weird. Once you jumped onto the PC and started to actually play around with the controls and how that's interacting with your like super high quality mouse and all that fun stuff, you start to realize that the game just had this arcadey feel when it came to the guns. Almost like guns were purposely inaccurate and you couldn't really correct them no matter what you did. I mean, you could try, but it felt like the guns just had a particular spread, and that's what you're stuck with, and that's how they were balancing it on these maps. And that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense from the console's perspective, and it actually fit the maps. But for people that are a little bit more like me, who have a history of, you know, Battlefield and Counter-Strike and the ability to kind of learn a gun and figure out its pull downs and whatnots, it just kind of felt off-putting to me. And I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of PC gamers out there that are going to say that same sort of thing. However, did the guns actually match what they were purposed for on the map, and the fact that, you know, they seem to work at the ranges they were designed to work at? Yeah. And I got to admit, it was still a fun experience. I'm not going to diss on it for that. However, once you jumped on over to the console, everything seemed to make a lot more sense. It was also a lot more fluid. On the same aspect of controls, there are so many buttons you have to press on your left hand. You're going to have to learn some serious yoga just to be able to press all the keys on the keyboard, as opposed to having two hands which are on a controller to make all that stuff fit. Honestly, there's two different keys you can press on the keyboard that are going to make you crouch, and I don't know, it's just kind of crazy. Luckily, I have a mouse though that has a couple extra buttons on it, so I can offload some of that work from my left hand to my right hand. But all in all, I got to admit, the controls aspect work a lot better on the Xbox. Now, there were 3 things that I noticed that were a little bit better on the PC than they were on the Xbox One, be it kind of small things. The first thing was that matchmaking was faster on the PC than it was on the Xbox One. A matter of seconds there. And in that same sort of seconds category, the maps loaded faster on the PC running off an SSD as it did compared to the Xbox One, and I have the 1TB edition. Finally, I experienced less lag on the PC as I did on the Xbox One, but neither system really suffered from that much lag that really kind of put me off from the game. But over an hour's worth of gameplay, it was noticeable. So this brings me to my last and final point. Which system did I have more fun playing the game on? Well, to be honest, I actually had more fun playing on the Xbox One. And that's kind of interesting to me because I have always been a PC gamer for a long time, and I've always hated the idea of actually aiming with a joystick as opposed to aiming with a mouse. So I thought I was going to lean towards the PC no matter what. And not to mention I was a lot better on the PC than I was on the Xbox One, but the thing is, what really got me wasn't all the technical stuff, because I got past that throughout the entire gameplay. I was able to fix it, I was able to move on from it and learn how to play the game as it was, designed and meant to be played. And I had fun with both systems, but it just seemed to be a little less serious on the Xbox One than it was on the PC. So a good example of that is when one team would get out in the lead and really just start dominating the other team. It seemed like people were a lot more prone to quit on the PC as opposed to people quitting on the Xbox. So the difference there was the fact that it seemed like people were just having more fun with the console as opposed to the PC. And it also felt like when I was playing the game, I felt a lot more serious and a lot more pressure to do well when I was on the PC as opposed to when I was on the console. So I just felt like that was a little bit more of an enjoyable experience. So with all of that in mind, my personal opinion is that this game is a definite pickup for the console over the PC, at least in my opinion, based on my experiences. So I'll probably be picking it up here for the console, and I'll see you in the game sometime in the future. As always, guys, I wish you guys the very best. Stay awesome. Peace. Brothgar out.
What is going on? What? Come on! Oh yeah! How you like that, son? Bringing it down from the heavens! Gonna blow up your face! Come on, buddy! Come on, let's go golfing! Oh no! He sees me! Oh no, he don't! No! Ah! Yeah! Oh! Oh, everybody, hold on to your butt! Here we go! Come on! Get in! Get it! Yeah!